people against goodness and normalcy. P-A-G-A-N. Pagan.
Nice work.
It looks like Chuck's taking the skin boat to Tuna Town.
You look goofy.
Do you wanna take a life? Do you wanna cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
Now, what I've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
That's right. Somebody saw my post on Twitter. Gary got a fast car. Black Snape is going to roll somewhere and piss somebody off. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner on Monday. Do you have a case of the Mondays? One of the best parts about being a content creator, not to rub it in or anything, but I don't get cases of the Mondays anymore. But I've had many cases in the past. Waking up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and God bless all of you who still do that. You are the people who keep the world going around, although they keep shitting on you. So this one's to the working man and woman. Coffee's so good once it hits your lips. What's up? I'm Black Snape. A song is an earworm, Perry. Every time I see him, all I hear is that effing song in my head. Holy shit. And people are asking for a longer version. They are. And he's in the chat. So the Black Snape thing isn't going away. It's not going away. It's getting worse. And we're going to talk about it. Oh, we're going to talk about it because SNL did a skit and everybody's praising the skit. And the skit is actually pretty good. But I'm also going to kind of rip Hollywood and SNL a new one for reasons you can probably guess at this point. but we'll save it just for a few minutes while I say hello to everybody. Jose Taco, what's up? Perry Chan, what's up? Andre Susie, how's it going? The one and only SDF, woot, what's up? Jay Lucian, welcome to the show. Psychotic Mongoose, Wade Wilson, X-Ray Girls in the background. I've seen her new room, and it's not as bad as Asmongold's. Sorry to out you there, X-Ray Girl. I'd say just roll with it. I saw it and I'm like, that looks like a typical Twitch streamer, same thing. Palto, Eric K. Mod, hello. Stay-at-home hippo. I am curious as to why you rolled with that name. I mean, I'm curious as to why most of you roll with most of your names, but stay-at-home hippo? Is that some kind of inside joke? Noons. How are you, Noons? You ready to hang out in America for a little while, Noons? You know, till the dust settles. Gus, we're gonna talk about Black Snape. Yes, we are. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about Millie Alcock and the White Knights for Millie Alcock. So many of them out there. And DJ Skylo, welcome. Glitch, I missed the rest. Harkin, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Microwave some tea. You know what? I microwaved a lot of. I've had a cold for. I've had Concred for over a week now, and it effing sucks. I'm pretty close to feeling better, but I felt like that for like 4 days now. And I've microwaved a lot of tea, and it's helped. It has helped. Oh, we can also talk about Starfleet Academy's views, which are hilarious and unsurprising, and maybe a little bit high. Because I'll give you a teaser. Most streaming shows perform that way. That's why they don't share the numbers. Why do you think they measure it in minutes watched? Why do you think they measure the Nielsen ratings in minutes watched? And it's the totality of a series. So when Suits dominates for a summer, it is being watched by a lot of people, but it's all the episodes. It's the entire series being watched, and that is cumulative. And they put it. Why don't you think they measure it in views? In views. It's because the numbers are insanely low. We're going to talk about an author throwing Drinker under the bus so he could get a in development deal from Seth MacFarlane on Peacock, on the Peacock network, a network that's not going to exist in 4 years. The Peacock will not be around in 4 years. Universal will dust that thing in 4 years. And I'm just going to say, don't tell that author that I've had phone conversations with Seth MacFarlane. Don't tell him. Better don't. It's secret. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, well, let's take care of some business. Let's take care of some business. Where is it? I've got it here. I should have pulled it up. We need to, because this is on Rumble as well. Hello, Rumblers, Rumble heads, Rumbleites, whatever you are. We're going to talk about the Rumble wallet. You already know why people are moving to crypto, but here's the problem. Most wallets still plug into the same system we are trying to escape from in the first place. That's why Rumble built Rumble Wallet. It's a self-custodial wallet that lives inside an ecosystem that actually defends free speech and financial freedom. No bank holding your balance. Not even Rumble can touch your funds. This is your money on your keys, on your terms. If you're already using Bitcoin or stablecoins, can you use Bitcoin and stablecoin at the same time? Not really sure. Rumble Wallet gives you even more power. direct, fast tipping and support for creators like Geeks and Gamers without waiting weeks for payouts and dealing with random account holds. On-chain payments in assets like Bitcoin, Tether Gold, and USAT, so you can move value globally without asking anyone for permission. Most wallets stop at storage. Rumble Wallet connects your money to a marketplace of ideas that refuses to cave to censorship. So if you're serious about sovereignty, did I get that right? I did. Wow. Financial and digital. This is where you level up. Go to wallet.rumble.com or search Rumble Wallet on your app store. Download it, back up your recovery phrase. That's really important. And move your money where it belongs, in your hands. Rumble Wallet is a technology provider only and not a custodial service. See terms of service at wallet.rumble.com. Wallet.rumble.com. Thank you very much. I almost said, I did say Wumble. I said Wumble. We're on Wumble right now. Shit. Wumblers. Oh my goodness. Hang on just a second. I needed my tissue. Hang on. You can look at Spock. Still got the cold. Okay, we're back. Let's start with Black Snape. So, well, let's go with this image first, shall we? Black Snape. Do. There it is. There it is. This is unbelievable, by the way. So, do we need to preface this again? Sure. When the rumored announcement of Black Snape was thrown out there by Believe Variety, nobody wanted to believe it. But in our heart of black hearts, we're like, it's probably true. And then it turned out to be true. Was it surprising? Ultimately, no. I think some people could have been surprised that Hollywood is still this fucking dumb. But we really shouldn't be at this point. And I think a lot of us came to the reality of course they made Snape black. Of course. The one character that would be the worst person possible to race swap in the entire series, that completely changes the fundamentals of and the themes of the fucking story, that makes your protagonist looks like a fucking racist. Of course they would come up with the dumbest decision possible, because this is Hollywood. And I think a lot of us were under the impression when we were kids, younger, many years ago, that Hollywood's the cream of the crop. That's where the most talented people go. That's why they make the most money. Well, as time has gone on, I think we've all realized that that is just not true in any sense of the word. It is who you know and who you blow. And the idiots who came up with this decision, I want to know the name. I want this name. This person should be shamed. But ultimately, it's whoever's Casey Bloys is involved in this decision. J.K. Rowling is involved in this decision. The showrunners are involved. You can't really blame the casting director at this point, because they can be overridden by the directors and the producers and the showrunners and Casey Bloys. So I guess we're just going to have to blame Casey Bloys, who is the head of HBO. I think that's the name we should probably, and J.K. Rowling, both of them we can pin the Black Snape on. Because as little involvement as J.K. Rowling has, I think she can probably say, I don't like the casting of this. And it was Casey Bloys who said that she does have some power. She's just never exercised it. Maybe she doesn't give a fuck. I don't know, and I don't care. Initially, I loved the headcanon I love the idea of this series. I was a big fan of it. It could have been the biggest show in the world. I would have been its biggest fan. And in my headcanon, it was J.K. Rowling getting rid of mostly Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe. Not so much Rupert Grint, but those two, removing them completely from all merchandise and everything. So the only residuals they get are maybe from the movies, which is still going to be pretty good. And at this point, I don't think the movies are going to be hurt at all. As a matter of fact, the movies might be helped by this series now, which is too bad because we were supposed to get a series that gave us a fuller version of the book. But as we're hearing things now, well, I'll get in trouble for this on Nerdrotic Live, not on Rumble. Let's see if I can pull up this video clip I just clipped out from the special. Oh my God, there it is. From the 20, okay. So I'm getting ahead of myself. After HBO, just a week prior to HBO announcing Black Snape, Papa Escuito comes out with an article saying he's getting death threats. This was 100% a marketing ploy. Do I think he received some death threats? Sure. Do I think he's going to receive more now? Yes, because they brought attention to him. Like I said in my video, I don't bring attention to them because it invites more of them. I get plenty already. Am I going to sit here and tell you I am genuinely worried about him? I am not. And he even said in the article, is he that worried? No, he's not. And they knew this was going to happen and it was going to be part of the marketing. Now, what's their mindset? Was it to deflect? Is it to create controversy to deflect from the fact that J.K. Rowling wrote this and they're trying to, I don't know, deflect from controversy when in truth, when it comes to the trans weirdos who boycott J.K. Rowling, it's an insignificant number that has been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt. Don't know what their motivation is. Is it just to make it less white? Sure. Was it because Papa Escuito was the best person for the role? No, that's the one thing we know for sure. He's not the best person for the role. So they come out with this preemptive marketing, and we've seen this shit before time and time again over the last 10 years, and HBO knew it was going to be a shit show. So what's their motivation of dropping a behind the scenes almost 10 months before the show comes out, a 25-minute behind the scenes? Do you think it might be in response to this? The Harry Potter trailer, and this is surprising to me, is dangerously close to being ratioed. And it probably will be by the end of the week, by the end of the month. It will be ratioed. It's tracking to be ratioed, which I could not fathom. I thought that people would not like Black Snape, but the rest of the trailer would be okay, and the fandom would overwhelmingly like this trailer. I was wrong. I was dead wrong. Even when it came out, we saw that the dislikes were a little high. I'm like, it's never going to get ratioed. Well, never say never. It is really fucking close. Now, this is the return to the dislike button, and it goes on averages, right? It goes on averages, but I will tell you, based on anecdotal evidence looking at my channel, that it usually averages low. It averages low. So it could very well be there already, but we have no way of looking at their analytics. By the way, this is a shared video across the Harry Potter account and HBO Max. Only 9 million views. Now, that would be great for my channel. I've never had a video hit 9. I think I had one hit 6. But this is Harry Potter. This is Harry fucking Potter. Chat, What were the views of Spider-Man Brand New Day in 24 hours? In 24 hours, wasn't it 12 million? I could be wrong. Maybe that's low. Maybe that's low. That doesn't seem that high to me. 715 billion, 14 million. I thought it was like between 12 and 14 million in 24 hours. Now, Spider-Man's a big franchise. Harry Potter is almost as big. Harry Potter is healthier in total than Spider-Man is. The Spider-Man comics are in the shitter. As far as the MCU movies are concerned, although they make a lot of money, nobody really talks about Homecoming or especially Far From Home, which is terrible. But I'm not the biggest fan of Homecoming either. But comparatively, you think Harry Potter would be somewhere in the ballpark of Spider-Man, and it's not. It's getting crushed. But it's in totality, Harry Potter, well, at least until this thing fucking releases, is a healthier franchise than Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Marvel, DC. It's healthier. It's got more enthusiasm. It isn't fragmented, but it's on its way. What did I tell you guys when this all started? That the Harry Potter show is going to be a cultural punching bag of the likes we haven't seen since Star Wars. For multiple reasons, on multiple fronts. And I heard right before I started the show, Ryan is right, from Geeks and Gamers. We're already starting to see the Harry Potter stan accounts. Some who were initially against this, now because they want to start their toxic positivity. They're like, well, now that I see it, he's actually good for the role. So you can't say he's a bad Snape. Plus, we haven't seen him play Snape yet. We're already starting to see this shit. And they are going to have to deal with the same shit that the Star Wars accounts had to deal with. That, oh, by the way, that they blame us for all their problems. And the reason they blame us is because they actually blame you. They blame you for you in the audience, my fellow members of the audience, my fellow members in the chat. They blame you for not agreeing with them, for having your own opinion. Don't you understand that they have a grift to keep up? They love to throw that word at us, which I don't give. Throw whatever word you want at me. I don't really care. But I guess at the heart of a grift is you don't really believe what you're talking about or what you say your beliefs are. You don't really love The Mandalorian season 3 or Ahsoka season 1. And you know what? I am sure there are accounts out there that do genuinely love those things. It's not everybody, because some people are entertained by laser pointers. So it's possible. Now I would probably question a guy I have defended before, regret defending him at all after this point. What's his name? Butts. The Butts dude who cries at everything is calling people grifters. It's calling people fake. The guy cries at like a fucking Jeep commercial. Seymour Butts, maybe. Eric Butts. Butts? He probably cries when his computer turns on. Is that guy married, by the way? That's shocking news. Jeremy, but I don't know what his name is. The guy who fucking cries all the time for the Star Wars shit that Mahler and crew got in a lot of trouble making fun of him, and I think EFAB's owed an apology. I'm just saying. I don't know what his fucking name is. I don't care. I don't care. So look, it's about to get ratioed. And that is, again, shocking. It's utterly shocking that this is about to get ratioed. And it's not, I know some people go, well, it's because of J.K. Rowling and her anti-trans view. There's not enough of you in the world to do this ratio. There isn't. And there's less of you in the world every day based on certain statistics. I'm just going to say. So, no, this ratio is 100. I'm not even going to say 99.9. It is 100% because of Black Snape. If Snape is white, if Snape looks like Snape, this maybe has 8,000 dislikes. Maybe. That might be a little high. Unforced air, but forced air. All at the same time. It's so stupid. So we're seeing it play out. And this is the most egregious of them all. But this is just the latest race swap. The latest one we've seen. We'll get back to that in just a second. Here's a clip from, here's the other problem with the show that I'm hearing a lot of, that we'll probably get in a lot of trouble for, but I don't, well, not a lot. They're just
Harry
HBO is going to get me.
stories are.
So we'll do this. They're talking to John Lithgow. And, you know, he's just talking about how much he loves the books and stuff, but just listen to what he says.
Harry Potter stories are this extraordinary phenomenon from 30 years ago for young people, but it struck a chord with people of all ages. And to reimagine the Harry
I just want to pause right here and say, fuck Warner Brothers for their abuse of the copyright system that they're going to abuse for me playing this fucking clip. And I don't care, but I just want to point out and say, fuck you, Warner Brothers.
Potter canon, to let it breathe, to tell a story in 8 episodes rather than a single 2-hour movie, to go down all the wonderful.
Here, we're going to go back because I talked over it. Let's go back.
Harry Potter stories are this extraordinary phenomenon from 30 years ago for young people, but it struck a chord with people of all ages. And to reimagine the Harry Potter canon.
He said, reimagine, to reimagine the Harry Potter canon. Reimagine. And it's not the only time somebody says it in this special. He continues.
To let it breathe, to tell a story in 8 episodes rather than a single 2-hour movie, to go down all the wonderful rabbit holes. The story is there, but we get to enact all the things that you know are going on in the wings, but you don't see them.
But you don't see them. They are going to be adding. And that is, once you see one red flag, you know there's more coming up. Made this argument correctly, by the way, with Rings of Power. Once you saw Dawn Lemonless and the first black female dwarf, you're like, oh, those are pretty big red flags because those are something that has never been in Tolkien. Wow. I wonder what they're going to do with the actual story. And we saw what happened. They made up their own. They made up their own story. So it's looking more and more like we're going to get recontextualized characters, reimagined characters. So Ryan and I have both talked about like how are they going to treat Snape? Is Snape going to be as he was a piece of shit in the books? I know he's a complicated character. And I know he did what he did for the love of a woman, but he also hated her husband. And he also hates Harry. He does. There's part of Harry that he hates. And I know it's complex, but he's a prick for most of the series. And he's cruel. He's intentionally cruel when he doesn't need to be. Are they going to remove all that now? Probably. I'm thinking, yeah. I didn't think, like, even with Black Snape, I'm like, okay, maybe the show will still be good around him, right? Like every scene, I'll just fucking hate that, but all the other stuff will be good. I'm not so sure now. After watching this special, I mean, the sets look good. The sets look really good. Like the craftsmanship, I don't know if you're going to be able to see any of it because they shoot it so fucking dark, but the craftsmanship looks pretty fucking good. He continues.
You wait forever to do something that means that much to people, and I think this really will. And they have done a brilliant job of selecting this extraordinary ensemble.
Are you sure about that? You sure about that?
A brilliant job of select.
I mean, that just looks like Snape. You got a fast car. It's behind the scenes. That's why he's smiling. But holy shit. Holy shit. All right. So, do you have it in? It's gotten so bad that SNL clowned it. Saturday Night Live. Where is that? There we go. There we go. And it's actually kind of a good skit. And because we're mostly on Rumble, we're going to play the whole fucking thing. I don't care. Well, unfortunately, we'll have to probably cut this out of Nerdrotic Live. That's got to be a video title. On the back of his head. This is what we've been talking about since this announcement. All right. Nice skit. That's great. The problem with shows like SNL and even South Park now is the world has become such a parody. If you do not react to it immediately, it will out parody you. And this is such a joke. This is race swapping in its final form. They're going to keep doing it. They're going to be stupid about it, and they don't care. But Hollywood, so fucking disconnected from the real world that they don't think about the consequences of, wow, we're going to race swap this character who probably got beaten by his dad and was abandoned by his dad. So the black kid's going to be beaten by his dad and abandoned by his dad. That's like, I don't know. That's like making a gay Klingon who gets abandoned by not one, but two black fathers. In the name of diversity and inclusion, by the way. He works in potions. He wanted the dark arts position, but never got it till later. It's good. Well, as good as that skit is, where the fuck you been, Saturday Night Live? This shit's been going on for 10 years. Where the fuck you been, Hollywood? I've been telling you for fucking 8 years. This is ripe for comedy. Woke storytelling is the lowest hanging fucking fruit for comedy, and nobody's decided to clown it. Now, I understand, like when a black guy becomes Captain America, you don't do a bunch of skits about a black guy being Captain America. Well, you can't. You can't make a skit about Black Captain America or Captain African American not being able to get a credit card or not being able to get a bank loan because they already did it in the fucking show. Jesus fucking Christ, Hollywood. I mean, nice to pick it up now, but it's okay. We got this. I think it is funny that SNL brings this up because it shows you how bad it is with Harry Potter. But it's been this. They're making white characters black in historical dramas. You're not going to make fun of some old black woman going, my grandma told me Cleopatra was black, so that's that. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck? You're not going to joke about that? Yeah, it's hard to parody the parody, but this one is easy. I think Black Snape should be a recurring character on SNL. I think it'd be fucking hilarious. But, you know, race swapping just to race swap, it like they just did it with Tech Jacket and Invincible. They're doing it in cartoons. They're doing gender swaps. They're doing race swaps. Christ's sake, Doctor Who was a woman for 3 years and nobody made fun, well, except for me, made fun of that. Shit. But this is the one they make fun of because it's the easiest. But for Christ's sake, this has been going on forever. And maybe somebody will start to realize, our friend Eric July said, you as a people, black people, you are willing to accept white hand-me-downs to feel validated. Is that what you're expecting? I don't think so. But this is what the white, mostly woke white woman, but the white woke progressive in Hollywood sees this. They see you as, they can't operate an iPad. They can't go get an ID. They can't turn on their computer. Here, we'll give you a character. Do you feel validated? Do you feel special now? We'll give you this. We'll take something away, and that'll make the white people mad. And we'll give it to you to make ourselves look good. You'll get all the heat, and we'll go to our dinner parties where we're not going to invite most of you and talk about how progressive and awesome and inclusive we are. Fucking hell. So, yeah, that's what it is. It's racism. That's exactly when your whole thought process of, okay, we're gonna cast Harry Potter. Wow, this show's pretty white. We need to make it less white. So we're gonna fight racism by being racist. We're gonna make one of the white characters black. Something nobody on earth has asked for, something if you have kept it the way it was, nobody would have complained about whatsoever. And now your multi-million-dollar show is in danger because of this one bad decision. One bad decision. And HBO has to be absolutely shitting themselves right now. And they should. They should. Now, do I think like at least the first season, is it going to do well? Oh, yeah. I think it'll do well. Will it do as well as it could have if it had a regular Snape? I don't think so. I don't think so. And this is a big commitment. You sure you don't want to be stuck with like a Rings of Power commitment with Amazon where you committed to 5 seasons. Jeff Bezos's ego, Amazon's ego is involved, and their brand is tied up into this piece of dog shit that they're going to just keep putting out and sinking money into. And honestly, Amazon can afford it. But can HBO, which is now in the process of being sold, what are the Saudis going to think about Black Snape? Oh, what do the Saudis have to do with this in Qatar? Well, they're pumping in 20% of the money for Ellison's bid to Warner Brothers. Now, Ellison has told us they have no say. They're just throwing in money. I don't believe that. But we'll see. And now you can't recast him. Like, the obvious thing to do would be to recast him, but they're not going to. After season 1, fucking get a real Snape in there. But you're stuck with it for fucking 7 seasons for 10 years. Best of luck. Oh, they're totally silent partners, chat. I know you're saying it with sarcasm too, Norton. I get you. Yeah, totally silent partners. You know what? And let's be real. Maybe shit'll be less woke because of it. Not gonna say it's not. There's not some positives in there. I was watching a regular broadcast, with my wife. I got a High Potential. Oh my God. It is so bad. Holy shit. I think Drew Goddard's involved in that. Wow. I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck is it? And that's just what network TV is. And I don't really watch network TV very much, like ever. No, J.K. Rowling is going to get a lot of money from this. So I don't think she gives a shit. She wants to just spam her Twitter account with women's rights, which is I'm fine with. Totally fine with. Hermione, I'm not going to talk about the kids, but Hermione is definitely not as she is described in the books, and she, out of the trio, is the one person who trusts Snape. Or I don't know if she outright trusts him, not at first, but eventually she's like, well, if Dumbledore trusts him, I trust him. That's good enough for me. And sorry, spoilers. Why is Dumbledore? Why is he having the black guy kill him? Throwing him under the bus. Asio Alu Akbar. Oh shit. Chad, you are funny. But Hollywood has had an opportunity to make fun of itself for the last 10 years. Female Ghostbusters, basically going out and doing a female Luke Skywalker and doing nothing else with her. A gay Klingon in a skirt, for fuck's sake. You would think that should be the SNL. There's a universe out there somewhere where that's the SNL clip. But no, Starfleet Academy is unintentionally funnier than Saturday Night Live. I get more laughs out of watching Starfleet Academy, intentional or not, than Saturday Night Live. Oh, and how's the British version of Saturday Night Live doing? Let's take a look real quick. Because I would say, I don't like to boast. I think boasting is gay. But here we go. Disbrew has been on top of it. Apparently, it's not doing very well. The UK version of Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night UK, episode 3, this Disbrew has died faster than I expected. Saturday Night UK, episode 3 saw its sharpest drop in ratings yet, falling by 95,050 from its season high. Riz Ahmed, who voices Snape in the audio adventure, and by the way, he'd be a better fucking Snape than Papa Aceto. I don't care what his last name is. Hosted the 3rd episode with music from Kasabian. Oh, they're still around. Episode 3 garnered the ratings of 130,950. Not 1,130,950. 130,950. Just going to point out that more people watch Friday Night Tights just on YouTube. That's not even, we're not even going to count Rumble, just on YouTube, which just hit its 400th episode. Thank you very much. Which equated to an audience share of 1.8. That's a 42% drop from the inaugural episode of the live comedy show, which garnered 226,000 viewers. And the second one was 205,000. Good Lord. SNL UK is a thing? Asked the chat. Not for long. Not for long. So Hollywood has had a great opportunity to make fun of itself with all of the horrible decisions it's made, turning Galadriel into a dude, communist, lesbian, space witches, a gay Klingon in a skirt, thinking like the Marvels, Ironheart. We could go on and on and on. Willow was so bad, Disney took it off its streaming service, much to Disparew's chagrin. Yeah, we need to reimagine Hollywood. Well, they're not gonna. It's a little late for that. You can't make a parody when the parody is already the parody. Hollywood is the parody. So it is great that SNL did this skit. I think it takes the piss out of race swapping, and it actually took, that's what I liked about the skit, is it talked about how it changes the story. Echo, we can't forget about Echo. Oh, I haven't heard much about the show Echo in a while. I think any calls for a second season have fallen on deaf ears. Thank you very much. There we go. Echo, who is a character from the Daredevil comics. She is deaf. She was also based on Gina Gershon in the David Mack covers. She was hot. She has like a white hand over her face. They decided to make her fat. They changed her tribe. They cut off her leg so they could check every fucking box in the world. They had a body positivity amputee. She wasn't a lesbian, but she could have been. Deaf woman as a superhero or a supervillain. Unfucking believable. Hollywood is the parody. I had reservations about Echo as well. Chat, I agree with that. I think that was a big gamble by Marvel. It was a big gamble. But people got mad at us for remember the title of my video? People got mad at us. Where one of the final battles happens? Where the Kingpin meets with Echo? In an Indian casino. And at the end, there's a big for the Indian casino, there's like a big carnival, and Kingpin rounds up a posse of white people to take out the Indians. It's so fucking fun. Hey, we got in a bunch of trouble when we talked about Blue Beetle. They're the ones who brought up tacos all the time. They're the ones who talked about being Mexican all the time. They're the ones who called Batman a fascist. Let's talk about Ironheart. Ironheart, made by black people. And it was about a hero who had invented stuff where she could have patented it and made millions and millions of dollars. She decided to go away from that so she could make thousands being a criminal. Her best friend and her dad were killed in a drive-by shooting, and everything she had, she stole. And this was because it needed to be the real black experience, according to the showrunners, including executive producer Ryan Coogler. Good luck with the Malcolm X files. Okay. In Chicago, drive-by shooting, theft, abandonment, no fathers to be found anywhere. Like the one father got killed in a drive-by, but other than that, there's no other fathers to be found. No other fathers to be found. All right, let's get to Mike from, there it is. Mike from Red Letter Media. They did a great video. Excuse me. They did a great video on Voyager season 1. I love it when they do this stuff. It's their best work. It's really great. But they at some point talk about Starfleet Academy. Right. And I'm guessing their reasoning is they don't want to talk about Starfleet Academy. So let's talk about some good Star Trek, see it, rewatching it a little older, and maybe we'll appreciate it more or whatever. And that's what they say. And it's good. It's good. They discuss the numbers. Now, people say, I think some people are trying to cope that Mike was joking. It doesn't come off that way, especially with the explanation afterwards. If it was a joke, he would have thrown in a clip or something. He would have done something to kind of subtly show it's a joke. Now, it still might be, but I can tell you, he's not wrong. All we need is forget what I say, forget what he says. They put the premiere episode of Starfleet Academy that was fully publicized through Star Trek fan websites and other places for free on YouTube for days. For days. They ran it as a premiere, meaning there was a chat, there was concurrent viewers, and the highest they got was 1,316 people watching. So, I just threw up a Spock action figure to see if I could get more concurrent views. We hit 3,000, over 3,000. If that isn't enough evidence for you, I don't know what is. They spent 6 to 10 million an episode. And he will tell you how many people watched.
Star Trek is dead.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Thank you so much.
I heard from my source.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the numbers?
Yeah.
The entire
What do you mean the entire? What do you mean? What, like
first season of Star Trek?
Every episode views total is what you mean?
Not individual episodes. The entire season,
yeah.
Total views about 400,000.
Yeah.
Not per episode.
Yeah.
Cumulatively,
yeah.
The entire season.
Yeah.
About 400,000 views.
Yeah. Whatever.
Which is an average of, I don't know, maybe 40,000 views an episode.
40,000 views an episode, 400,000 views in total. I don't want to get in trouble. I've heard similar. When I heard the numbers, it was earlier in the season though, so I didn't hear the in total number for the season. But I heard similar. So I'll just leave it there. I think he's telling the truth. And I think that's pretty regular. That's a pretty regular thing for streaming. As I said earlier in the stream, why do you think streaming services don't regularly report views? It could be a marketing tool, just like regularly reporting box office numbers. You know, it became part of the whole marketing system. Good and bad, it's how you measure popularity. So why do they do it in minutes watched? Well, it can convolute a lot of things. It's a way to massage the numbers, massage the analytics. So when you hear something like this, just remember that a lot of series that they sink millions of dollars in get views like this. They do. And all you have to do is go look at, it's anecdotal, but you look at total subscriber numbers. So what does Paramount Plus have for total subscribers? Paramount Plus total subscribers. I want to say it's like 73 million. Maybe I'm wrong. 79. Between 77 and 79 million subscribers. And of those 75 to 79 million subscribers, how many are active? How many are active subscribers who constantly go to that network and constantly watch stuff? That number would be surprisingly low to you. And then you go, well, how many are there for Taylor Sheridan's series? I would say the vast majority. How many are there for Star Trek? Well, most hardcore Star Trek fans, and I mean the hardest of the hardcore, will have it in physical media already. How much was licensed other places? How many of you are seeing it somewhere else internationally? So how many Americans are regularly watching Star Trek on Paramount Plus? I'm guessing that number is incredibly low. And if you equate it to just a video, I have 1.26 million subscribers. A video gets put out. You either see it or you don't. Only a certain percentage get that notification, which is incredibly low. And of each video, only half or less than half of the subscribers actually watch the video. That's pretty regular. Then you start to asking questions. How much of the episode did they watch? Did they watch the entire episode? Did they watch 5 minutes and leave? We never know these things. We never know these things. The one thing I do know is more people watch old Star Trek than new Star Trek on the regular. By a lot. By a lot. And also the show is canceled. The show is canceled. So that should tell you enough. Now, they have put free episodes up on YouTube before. But was this one a little bit of a humiliation ritual? Maybe. I don't know. The Ellisons are in control of Paramount right now. And what they're going to do, I have no idea. I'm Black Snape has... there you go. I'm Black Snape on Nerdrotic Daily is up to 539,000 views. It had almost a couple million impressions on YouTube. Totally different thing. I don't even know what the hell it got on Instagram. Across all platforms, it did pretty well. It did better than the entirety of Starfleet Academy. It did. So did what? Drinker did 4 videos on Starfleet Academy, and they garnered collectively over 5 million views. 4 videos. And I bet you they had a better watch time than any Starfleet Academy episode. So yeah, they should be embarrassed. And I'm just curious as to why they haven't announced Kurtzman is leaving at this point. I think that will come. They'll probably wait till after his. We've got 2 more seasons of Strange New Worlds, right? They filmed them back to back, and we're getting 1 this year. So I think we still get Kurtzman track through next year. And then what do you do? Well, here we are. The Hollywood franchise, I think, is kind of done. And they really need that to lean on because they're not taking any risks. And when you see something like Project Hail Mary, which is doing really well right now and it deserves it, that should show that, well, for one, when you put effort into making a good movie that's kind of for everybody, they'll go and see it. Super Mario Galaxy is like killing it right now. Who obviously the critics don't have much of an effect on that movie whatsoever. But with Project Hail Mary, it's pretty much universally loved. And while it's not truly an original work because it's based on a book, it's based on a book that hasn't been adapted before. We are with Harry Potter. We're adapting it for a second time in live action. It looks like it's going to be a worse adaptation than the movies now. With Lord of the Rings, we're doing fucking side stories now that are based on unadapted chapters, but we're not moving anything forward. Star Wars, we have an episode of The Mandalorian coming out, and then Ryan Gosling, his Starfighter, Star Wars Starfighter. So you get the word star twice in the title, which is dumb, but it probably will be better than, I think there's a great chance it'll be better than the Mandalorian, but it's not exactly lighting the world on fire. And Doctor Who has a Christmas special supposedly coming out this year without a doctor picked yet, penned by the guy who just completed a series that was canceled that was too woke for Disney. So big franchises that were the foundation of all of nerddom are just on their way out, right? So even with Marvel, you know, the scoopers are out there. Just we're hearing some crazy shit. Black Panther 3 and all this stuff. We aren't even at Secret Wars yet. Secret Wars is going to do a soft reboot of Marvel. How's that going to go? And Supergirl, not exactly going over with any real enthusiasm. We still have the gun bros out there just trying to convince us that it was really successful. And that's the only conversation. Nobody's really talking about the story, you know, but this year we've had, you know, Project Hail Mary and Night of the Seven Kingdoms were things that people were discussing the story, the acting, what characters they liked, little theory. There's just an enthusiasm behind both those projects. I would say One Piece season 2, but that has disappeared from the conversation completely. Completely. It's gone. I loved it, but nobody's talking about it anymore. It just kind of ended. Should have probably put it out weekly, but oh well. Oh well. I did see the a couple of the new Doctor Who episodes because they're available. New. They found some lost episodes. The Daleks' Master Plan, Devil's Planet, pretty good. I noticed that, and I guess this is on all their stuff for old Doctor Who. It's there's a warning on the bottom. It says this story contains some discriminatory content. I'm like, that is a selling point. Let's go. One Piece is a kid show that appeals to a lot of adults, kind of like Harry Potter. It appeals to a lot of adults. And I don't know if you really would, as things go on later, I don't think you would really call it a kid show. Like for little kids. It's not like Super Mario Galaxy. What's the opposite warning? There should be an opposite warning. There should be an opposite warning. Let me remove that. Super Frandaman, Gary, while I disagree with your view on gender-swapped White Tiger as Angela debuted in Daredevil in 2024 by Bendis, I agree that she shouldn't be a 4-foot toddler in Bored Again, but a female FBI agent instead. She's still a gender swap. It's a mantle, but it's still a gender swap from a male character. Like purely, simply, that is it. White Tiger was a male character. And they had the male character, and why not establish him first before you gender swap him? But yes, they have this like puny little girl playing him in Daredevil Bored Again, which makes even less sense. What happened with Jonathan? I don't know. There's an article on Geeks and Gamers. I guess he fell through a window on the set of his movie for Daily Wire. Sci-fi Fearin reviews. Welcome. Harry Potter going full on DEI and R swaps even now when they know how popular it is. So fuck them. And they get what they deserve. Yep. Is it Imago Luis? Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate it. Buffalo Blue Bear. Been a member for 2 months. Hail Gary, fellowship. Thank you for the FNT marathon yesterday. It's Mom's 78th birthday. She passed. Oh, it would have been Mom's 78th birthday. She passed on January 27th. Oh, rest in peace. Thanks for the laughs and entertainment. R.I.P. Mom. Yeah, we have FNT 24/7 going. We'll keep it up for as long as we can. Trish, what's up, Trish? She's a new member. Wife and I saw Project Hail Mary last night. Haven't stopped talking about it yet. Happy belated 400 FNTs. Hell, thank you, Alex. Yeah, it's kind of a movie that stays with you. I can't wait to go see it again. It's why we do all this. I can't wait to go see it again. Why is my... Oh, that's why my phone's going crazy. Hang on just a second. We're going to get to the people. I've actually got to get to making videos now that my voice is back. That was annoying for a week. There we go. There we go. But I guess it's pretty significant that SNL finally made some fun of something that they should have been making fun of for years. Oh, that show's so tired, though. I can't believe it's still going. And this time, it's personal. It's personal. So let's get to the people. Thank you all for joining me this Monday. I went down this huge Doctor Who rabbit hole this entire weekend because I was sick and I couldn't do anything. So I watched a bunch of behind the scenes of classic Doctor Who, and it's just, oh God, it's such a shame what's happened, all the stuff we like. But it's moving on, man. It's the thing is as I was alluding to earlier with Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't reboot them because then you're just flushing away all that canon, but you can't really go forward unless you erase some of the bad shit that you produced over the last 10 years. It's quite the conundrum. And what they're going to find out is, and there is a way to fix it, but they lack the willingness. They completely lack the willingness to do what needs to be done. They're not going to erase any of the bad shit because they're worried about other people's feelings in Hollywood when you shouldn't be, because it's a business. It's show business, not show friends. It's show business, as they say. But they're not going to do it. So they're going to move on to go fuck something else up. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Treneth. Oh, Trena the Knitter for $11 says, "Hi Gary, was hoping I could put this in front of the fellowship. My folks have started a fund for their 90-year-old friend to stay in their home. Black mold is spreading. The GoFundMe is Help Jeanette Stay in Her Home by Sarah Green. Thank you." And it's on GoFundMe. Black mold is no joke. She can't be in that house, though. Like, she has to get out of the house with the black mold. That is real, especially if she's 90. Until they fix it. They have to fix. She can't stay there. That's not good. Oh, well, I hope they get it fixed. Ryan Kinnell's Gay Subconscious for 20. Keep smiling. Keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure. That's what friends are for good times and for bad. I'll always be on your side forever. That's what friends are for. Thank you. Jontum for $10. Have some money, you old cunt. Thanks. You can call me a cunt. I don't care. It doesn't bother me in the least bit. Hang on. Where is it? Where is it? There you go.
You're a cunt.
Kind of cuts off too soon. Just imagine a world without hypocritical situations. Jeremy trying to sound smart for $10. He never tries this. Like, I'm going to defend my friend Jeremy here. He never tries to sound smart. What are you talking about? Porcelain Punisher for $10. Remembered an episode of Seinfeld where a white girl took the last name Chang. we need to race swap Cho Chang to even things out. This coming from a Chinese dude. Hashtag make Harry Potter white again. Well, I love that they brought up that, yeah, the guy Harry thinks who stole the Philosopher's Stone, by the way, that's what they're calling it, the Philosopher's Stone, properly, is a Black Snape. And they say Black Snape in that skit, too. Black Snape. He will forever be known as Black Snape. Matthew Hammond for 2. You and Melissa should go see the movie They Will Kill You. The female protagonist tries to escape a hotel with Kill Bill over-the-top violence. Chris Gore recommended it. I'll watch it on streaming. I will definitely watch it on streaming. It's got Zazie Beetz. Jackson Cagle is gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. WG is gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. Des Roma is gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. 21 Palika has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership, and so has Jesus Davila. Leary Bard for $2 says happy anniversary and happy Easter. Thank you. I hope everybody had a great Easter, by the way. Whiskey Mindset for $4.99. The elf/human relationship can be best explained by the real world human/dog relationship. Minutes for humans is like hours for dogs. There you go. Well, dogs actually have, they have no concept of time. Like zero. So if you're gone for 5 minutes or 2 hours, do they really notice? We don't know. They act the same when you come back. Like, I'll walk out and with the trash bag to go dump the trash, and I come back and my dog greets me like I've been gone for 2 hours, which is great. Which is wonderful. Besides Clooney, Solaris was great. Solaris. Yeah, Solaris is all right. I don't know if I'd say great, but it's all right. Anthony Michael Amsbury for $10 says happy Friday. Happy Monday. Rendezvous with Rama Villeneuve. Were we talking about Villeneuve? Yeah, I don't like a lot of his movies. I think they're mostly boring. Sicario's great, though. One Piece latest chapter broke the internet. Yes, apparently it is. It's out there. People are talking about it. You know what they're not talking about? One Piece live action. Fake grass is un-American. No, it's not. It's American. Fake grass is as fucking American as it gets. But the thing is, because I was talking about my my backyard has fake grass. And I've been waiting for it for years. We've had basically a dirt backyard for 3 years. Now we have our fake grass that I don't have to really maintain, just hose off once in a while, or it rains enough. But I have real grass in my front yard. Okay. So I balance it out. Rhonda PG for $4.99. Proper British money. If there's an anime with Western animation inspiration, check out the Big O. Its biggest inspiration is Batman, the animated series. Gunbuster, hard to find, based on Top Gun. Creator made this before making Evangelion. I always get this wrong. Evangelion. Supermaster. We must have been talking about anime. I think Ryan and I were talking. We both watched Cowboy Bebop recently, which is fucking awesome, by the way. Weird how your point is no one is talking about it yet. Every week you bring it up, says Jacob. Well, we talk about entertainment here, Jacob. So I often bring up stuff, Jacob. Thank you for the $5 that people won't bring up. That is the whole point of this fucking channel. It's why it's still here is I bring up shit that other media will not bring up. Like other media will not bring up that Hollywood has alienated half of their audience for a decade. Other media will not acknowledge or bring up or call out race swaps like fucking Black Snape, Black Captain America. They won't bring it up. Rhonda RPG or Rhonda Part PG for $19.99. The Lore Keeper has been summoned. Happy 400th FNT, my boys and girls. Gary, do you remember the word crack carrot? Maybe no. I remember, but no. Scrambled for $1.99 with Rendezvous with Rama. Will Rendezvous with Rama ever get made? I do not know. I call them shipwrecks because they are train wrecks as people, but obsessed with shipping. Oh, shipwrecks. I get it. Okay, now I get it. Steve Safaro for $4.99. Jeremy, just school drinker on FNT, and Piers Morgan doesn't even know him. Hail 199. Did he? Maybe he did. Love you guys. Love One Piece. Happy 400th. I like One Piece too. Shad, if Goku is a wizard, is Superman? Oh boy, that's for Shad. Have you watched Invincible? Jeremy, I have not watched it since very beginnings of season 2. Lost interest. Same reason I lost interest in The Boys. Same reason. I wouldn't say as egregious as The Boys, but same reason. Gary, there's a clip from Stargate SG-1's 200th episode you and Garrett need to put in the video sometime soon. It has to do with the intelligence of producers and the audience. Oh, well, I'll have to find 200th episode. That's going to be a while till I get there, Ian Carroll. So I will find the clip. Thank you for the $10. Green D says, damn it, I missed the stream. Happy 400 year birthday. Thank you. 400 years of FNT. That's right. That's right. Well, when Open Bar had their 50th, Drinker said 50 years. Sea Striker for $4.99 right there. She is bored and wants to sound interesting. That's the heart of woke in a line. Alien Blue for 10 New Zealand dollars. Happy 400th, boys and girls. So that's it. I'm catching the tail end, so I know what you've I know what you've all been discussing. We are talking about the UK. Look up the AI Zut. What is an AI Zut? Similar story to Momo wife, Ashi. She plays with dolls. Okay. They're action figures. People of the UK, get a pet pig says Eric K. Cake box for 50 Norwegian krona. The UK BBC dog thing is as dumb as me demanding stores stop selling eggs when I'm deathly allergic towards eggs. It is, but the fact that that article went up there, I mean, and to pretend like not knowing where it came from, where the edict for that article came from is fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. No fucking white person, no person in Western civilization that isn't from a Middle Eastern country would ever fucking say, it wouldn't even cross their fucking mind to go, are we too nice to dogs? Are we too nice to dogs? You know, the question should be, are dogs too nice to us? That's the question. Are dogs too nice to us? We don't fucking deserve dogs. We don't. They're man's best friend. They're great. If I could have an army of dogs, I would. I've got 4 now. I got a 19-year-old dog. That poor fucker. He can't see. He can't hear. The only way he gets around is he has to get under our feet, which is dangerous. And then he kind of falls because he's a little dog. So he looks like a goblin now. He used to be like a really cute rat terrier, but now he just looks like a fucking goblin. Half his teeth are missing. His tongue's hanging out. He's got a big white eye. His name is Gomez. And yeah, and I shouldn't laugh, but he fucking he'll walk right in the walls. It's terrible to laugh. He's such a good boy, though. Yeah. Poor old Gomez. But yeah, there was an article we were discussing from the BBC where they're like, are we too kind to dogs? Are we allowing too many spaces for dogs? We know where this is coming from. Fuck off. Fuck off. I don't trust anybody who doesn't like dogs. If you don't like dogs, I don't trust you and never will. I think it reveals your character. Rex Reed, Gene Shalit, Siskel and Ebert, names that used to make filmmakers cower. The drinker joins their ranks. Absolutely. Critics should not be cowed. Well, people are going after drinkers. So the author of Dungeon Crawler Carl, whatever his fucking name is, decided to, and it's not the first time, by the way, decided to publicly throw him under the bus because he got an in development. This is a very important distinction. Dungeon Crawler Carl, series I haven't read and won't, had Drinker do a part in the audiobook. He voiced a part in the audiobook, right? A while ago. And he came to Drinker and he's like, I'm a big fan. Could you do this? Could you voice this part? Da, da, da. As soon as he gets this TV deal, throws him right under the bus. Says something like, I'm sorry I was ever a part of this, and I hope I can have his part removed someday. I don't know if it was a game or an audiobook. I can't remember. And he came out and said that publicly to distance himself. I don't even think he was told to do that. He probably thought to do it himself because Seth MacFarlane is producing a series under Seth MacFarlane's massive, insane deal with Peacock to produce TV shows. I think Seth is so far what he's done, the TED series. I don't know how much Seth has actually done, right? It was an audiobook. Thank you. Yeah, I did a Boondock Saints part of a Boondock Saints audiobook. Troy McDuffie. Could you imagine him saying that about me? He would never fucking. And it's gotta suck to hear that as Drinker, but Drinker, you don't have to give a shit. Okay, so whatever his fucking name is, let me give you some realities of Hollywood. Your show's in development on fucking Peacock. That's great that Seth MacFarlane's producing it. Please do not tell this person that I have spoken with Seth MacFarlane, that I have toured the set of the Orville. I have spoken to the producers of the Orville. Please don't tell him that his executive producer has talked to me. But here's the reality of the situation. And I know exactly 2 people who have had TV shows made prior to my YouTube existence and during. 2. So 2 friends who have created friends like I made before, both in comics, both friends I have made before this who have I've seen like financially how they were doing in comics, which wasn't great, and how financially one of them is doing with a hit TV show, and it's surprisingly underwhelming. So a co-creator of a hit TV show doesn't make that much money. So if you're the co-creator, you license the rights and you probably get some merchandising deal, some kickback for the show, maybe an EP credit. But the amount of money that you're actually like, I would just tell this author, save your money. Save your money. Don't go out and buy a fucking cyber. Oh, this guy wouldn't buy a Cybertruck. He's too woke. But don't go out and buy a big car. What TV show? The Boys. The Boys is that TV show. I was able to, just, through talking on the phone with Derek and stuff, he not getting into financial details, but he would just tell me the process of, because The Boys was they were trying to option The Boys for a movie and a show forever before it finally went to Amazon. By the way, picked up by Roy Price, who got fired and Me Too'd, but Roy Price, falsely Me Too'd, by the way. Roy Price got fucked over. That dude needs to write a book on what happened to him. It's so fucked up what happened to him. But, the paycheck it's none of you, I wouldn't say it sucks, but you're not like set for life. It's not worth selling your integrity over, in my opinion. Now, some people have a much lower price for their integrity, so whatever. But The Boys, it's a hit show. I've hate what it's become. I like season 1. I did. But then it stopped being this, not exactly new, but realistic take on superheroes, corporate culture, and celebrities, be it athletes or actors. It's The Boys is a commentary on corporate excess, right? And celebrity. And now it's just turned into TDS the show. It could have been so much better if they had just stuck with what the comic is. And it's supposed to be over the top and gross. That's why it got canceled by Wildstorm in DC. It used to be a DC comic under the Wildstorm banner, and they got cold feet and canceled it, but told Garth and Derek that they could shop it around. And it got picked up by Dynamite. And continued. Derek didn't do the art for, I think, half the series. I think he did covers. I think he worked on the final book. It's and yes, I'm in that comic twice. To run out there, for one, it's in development, so I hope it gets made. I hope it gets made, and I hope people watch it. I hope it's worth it to you to throw this guy under the bus for that you didn't need to do. All you had to do was say nothing. Like, you don't have to say anything. Nobody's gonna get on you because Drinker's in that fucking book. So he's trying to get out ahead of it, right? For a series that might not get made, but even if it does, it's on fucking Peacock. It's on Peacock. Name me all the hit shows from Peacock. I'll wait. Twisted Metal? Twisted Metal season 1 was like a 6.5 out of 10. I got 10 minutes into Twisted Metal season 2 and turned it off. Let me tell you about Peacock. The only reason I subscribed to Peacock before was because it had the Harry Potter movies, the TV version of the Harry Potter movies. So they're the longer versions. I just got them on my own through Tortuga. And as a person who covers pop culture, it is my job. I do not subscribe to Peacock. There's nothing there worth watching. That it's not worth the $8 or $9 a month. So as a person who covers pop culture regularly, should subscribe to absolutely everything because I have to watch all this shit. I don't subscribe to Peacock. But it's also, I mean, that's Hollywood, baby. Like, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but that's whatever that guy's, I don't know what his name is. I don't fucking care. As I responded to Drinker, he will fit right in. He will do really well there. If you maintain that, I'll just backstab whoever I need to backstab. There's a saying in Hollywood. There's a lot of them, a lot of bad ones. This is the worst. And I heard it a lot in the short 2 years I worked there. I heard it a lot. And the saying is, I'll be whatever you need me to be. And I heard that from actors, post-production. And I was mainly in the post-production, like back end, bottom floor, like shoveling the fucking coal part of Hollywood where I worked. And somebody brought up Sucker Punch. I get like twitches when I hear that because we had I worked in for Technicolor. I was a pre-mastering technician. And I was also an archivist. So I'd back up all the audio, all the video. I do the final QC on stuff, worked on menus quite a bit, did some editing, did some unofficial editing on actual TV shows, reality and scripted. Jack of all trades, because I worked the night shift from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and there was like 5 of us in the building, and we had to do almost as much work as the day crew. So we had to get so much shit done. But we were having a problem with Sucker Punch. So I had to watch the ending of that fucking movie over 150 times in like a 48-hour period. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers didn't hate Zack Snyder as much as I did during that time. Okay. Jeremy doesn't know the hate I had for Zack Snyder during that time. Fucking Sucker Punch, dude. And we should have seen, I mean, that's a Zack Snyder movie, and it's way more Rebel Moon than, I know it's based on a book, right? It's based on a book, but I wish I had a lobotomy after that. I did. And I watched a lot of shit. Like I watched, it wasn't as much, but remember Mars Needs Moms? I had to watch that entire movie like 20 times. And I didn't hate it as much as the fucking end of Sucker Punch 150. It just, it gets to you after a while. I think the first 75, I was fine. But then something just clicked. And I started losing it. That's the fucking funniest thing about Technicolor is when you got in the building, they patted you down. And every time I left my office to go take a fucking piss, I had to walk through the metal detector and then go take a piss and come back, and they pat you down because they're worried about you taking a master tape or anything. The whole time I've got this keychain, right? I've got my keychain hooked to my belt. And I have one of those keys that was a thumb drive, and they never saw it. They never, ever saw it. Never saw it. Now, I didn't use it. But I could have. And the funny thing is I didn't notice until, like, I don't know, I was working there a couple of weeks. And I'm like, I don't have one now, but I'm looking at my keys going, oh shit. Those motherfuckers are dumb. And they were nice. The security guards were really nice. But yeah, that was I found out what it was like working in Hollywood, and the author of Dungeon Crawler, Carl, will fit right in. He is the kind of person they're looking for, the kind of person that has transactional friendships, that will not have real friendships, that will show no loyalty whatsoever. That's the kind of person they need in Hollywood, okay? Anybody who's just willing to whore their integrity out to be a blank slate. It's too bad he's selling out for a Hollywood that's kind of, well, it'll never be what it once was. People of the UK, get a pet pig, says Eric K. So in reference to, now I understand that, in reference to the dog article, get a pet pig. Bacon sounds great right now. First time commenter. All right. But y'all, I wrote my first book and working on a second. I'm waiting to hear back from the editor. Thank you all for inspiring me to not give up and appreciate good storytelling. Day one, just with all creative things, I would highly recommend keeping the expectations realistic and writing it for yourself. Like finishing a book is an accomplishment in itself, right? It is. So well done. Hope it does well. Or have Taylor Sheridan make Space Cowboys. Taylor Sheridan could write a better Star Trek than Alex Kurtzman. Sure. It would be centered on a planet with some land, where a landowner has to run around and constantly defend their land. But like, what would be the Star Trek version of taking them to the train station? I guess airlock. Taking them to the airlock. I mean, like Landman, essentially the same thing as Yellowstone. Essentially. Some old patriarch always putting out fires, thinking about his family. Except I don't think Billy Bob is as stupid as Kevin Costner and won't bail out at the end. Kevin Costner, what a dumb fuck. I mean, I get where he was coming from. He's like, I was in Westerns before this guy was around. I'm going to go. And he probably got inspired by it. And I was like, I'm going to make my Western epic now that the Western is back, thanks to a show I'm in. Instead, though, you fucked the show at the end and your Western never got finished. Actors aren't the smartest people. I would say, Kevin Costner, wait till your series ends and then make your movie. But it became a dick measuring contest, and Taylor Sheridan won. Cyber Chud for $4.99. Chuds win. Damn right. Phil DeSoul for €5 says, "Hail guys. Did you hear about the rumor BBC are going to use AI to bring back all the doctors for a Christmas? Is it okay? I don't believe that because the BBC would be really hyper concerned about what the fans thought about AI. Would they consider it? Will it be done someday in the future? 100%. 100%. Hell, you can use AI to remake some of the older Lost episodes that they just have the audio to, but they won't do it because they're afraid of their own people right now. But eventually, that blowback, they're just going to have to suffer through it because the amount of money they can save with AI is going to matter more to them than actors and producers who are going to cry and say, we will refuse to work for this company. Well, if all the companies start doing it, you might have to go out on your own and not have to worry about that company giving you validation. And we'll see how good you are. John Slade for $5. Most of these actors dehydrate themselves for shirtless scenes on top of all the gym time and the roids they have to take. Yep. TJ Jordan for $5. The only sequel I'm looking forward to this year is that Hollywood Strike 2.0. We're not going to get it. Bring it. I know it won't beat the first, but I'm still excited. Well, from the WGA, they have signed a deal with the producers, with Armpit. It's AMTP, but it looks like Armpit. For 5 years, I think. And listen, both sides knew they could not strike. A strike would end their industry forever. Captain Blondebeard for $4.99 says, first time, long time. Welcome. Thoughts on Constantine sequel in development? Love the 2005 film, but haven't read the comics. Hail. Love the comics. Love the film. It's been a long time. I don't know if that's still going ahead. That is a DC movie, so that'd be a James Gunn thing. Has he talked about it? I heard it was going. It's not going. I'll check real quick. Let's see. Haven't heard anything in a while. All right. Constantine 2 with Keanu Reeves is currently in active script development after DC Studios approved a story pitch back in February 2025. While a new script draft has been completed, it is still awaiting final studio approval. James Gunn confirmed in October 2025 that he has discussed the project with Reeves, but has not yet read the latest script. The sequel is expected to not be part of the main DC universe continuity, likely falling under the Elseworlds banner to preserve the original 2005 film's world and R rating. Director Francis Lawrence and writer-producer Akiva Goldsman are leading the project, with Reeves noting that the story will see John Constantine tortured even more than in the original. Okay. Well, we'll see. We will see. Okay, how we doing on time? What do you say to a child who loved the Super Mario Galaxy movie? Asked Doge. Said good. That's awesome. Anyone else thought the Colbert Lord of the Ring announcement had a bit of spite behind it? Yes. The Chuds got me fired, so now I'm in charge of their beloved Lord of the Rings. Absolutely. I mentioned that in my video, Jim. I think knowing Peter Jackson's politics, knowing that Warner Brothers is being bought by David Ellison, knowing, I'm guessing, but probably being right about how Peter Jackson feels about David Ellison, that it was a bit of a troll announcement. Absolutely. Do I think that was part of the motivation to stick it in the face of the man? Yes. Yes. How do you say I've been to the moon in the UK? Oh, that's right. They never have. America, love you all. Oh, don't rub it in to the poor UK. America, fuck yeah tax. That's right. Artemis. Judah. Thank you, Jackson Cagle. Judah for $2. We got guns, so your opinion is valid. Oh, this is when the Americans and the Brits are arguing. The end of Dune 3 trailer kind of has a comedic moment with the music, and then Zendaya is shown. Like the music just goes, yeah, oh, it's you. What do they sound like they're saying in the music, in the chant for Dune 3? It's take LSD, right? Take LSD. Take LSD. Yeah, the trailer doesn't look bad for Dune. I like the first one. I like the second one. I'll probably like the third one. Am I super excited for it though? Not really, no. No, I was way more excited for Project Hail Mary. And Godzilla -0. I might be able to see a preview of that. We'll see. The first men on the moon were British, damn you. That's what the chat says. How is the nostalgia critic the normal one from Channel Awesome? Oh, yeah. He just stayed normal. He did. That's right. Angry Joe was at Channel Awesome. Good old Angry Joe. Good old Angry Joe. I responded to him on stream. I'm not going to get in a back and forth and deal with like walls of text on X Twitter. Angry Joe liked the first episode of She-Hulk where she had the rant, how hard the life of a woman is. His audience called him out on it, and he turned his opinion around on the show pretty quick. Says dystopian phantom for 70 Zardozes. Yep. But I was scolded for authenticity because in reality, I love the Supergirl trailer. I think it's amazing. And I'm just telling you what I think about it to farm clicks because actually, in truth, you guys caught me. The Supergirl trailer is pure cinema. It is wholly original. It will not be filled with irreverent characters with set to pop music with the themes of found family. It won't be a true adaptation of Tom King's The Woman of Tomorrow, which is True Grit. It won't be misery porn, which is pretty much everything Tom King writes. It will be she is miserable, then she'll find out that Clark is right and she is the hero that she doesn't think she will be. And then in future films, when she shows up, she will revert right back to being the sarcastic, nihilistic character. And I totally thought Superman James Gunn was a hit. Absolutely. Aurora Uplinks for 20. Nerdrotic sent you an email with a short summation on a Grok chat or an idea for a Star Trek TNG episode we came up with together. Hope you read the summation and enjoy it. The lead up to it is fun. I'll check it out. I love getting emails like that, Aurora, instead of that one I got that I read part of. It's a long read. It is a tome. That email was something else. I got a death threat email. Happy 400, all hail. Loved the season of Fargate where they defeated the season villain Jaden Leaky Deaky. Stranded him on the planet Frozen Vajayjay. Well, the follow-up to that one My Diggles, is that what it says for $9.99? The follow-up to that one is the frozen planet Vajayjay dealing with global warming. Global warming. Got a little swampy, you know. And then they had to call in the USS LaDouche. Josh Ginley for 20 British pounds, proper money. Hail, found you guys a while ago. Congrats on 400 episodes. Quick question for a fellow Brit. Anyone know where I can buy and trade/sell manga books? Tried the local store for months, got my books back. Tried my local store 4 months, got my books back. Was it a consignment store? I would think that any used bookstore or any comic store, maybe not comic store, but any used bookstore would, if it's got value, would buy. I mean, maybe not for much, maybe for pennies on the dollar, would buy your manga. That would sell. It would sell a lot. I was looking up the first appearance of Luffy. It is Shonen Jump 34 from 1997. And it's in a high grade. It is worth a lot of money. And it'll be worth more. It'll be worth more. All depends on how that series ends, though, I think. Cara Hughes for 5 British pounds. There's always a double standard, and it's putting people off the movies. Yep. Alberto Nada Retro for 5 Canadian pesos says Chris Hemsworth spoke up about going shirtless, and his boundaries were ignored, especially by Taika Waititi. Yeah. Look where he is. This is for the drinker only. Go away now, says Schick for $4.99. Bad Supergirl ads claiming mean fans picking on it. It's spelled pickling. I mean, I guess we could be pickling on it. Democrats don't go to movies. They pirate. Change your marketing fast. Suck up to the right. Well, just suck up to normal people. Okay. You know, don't say, listen, the actors are always going to be this stupid. They are. But making a statement like some people feel this weird ownership over women's bodies. I don't even know what she's fucking referring to. Are people calling her ugly and making memes? Yeah, welcome to the fucking internet. That's never going to change. But you're trying to sell your movie. And you come out going, some of the fans have some weird ownership over think they have some weird ownership over women's bodies and stuff. And like, they're going, what the fuck are you talking about? More men buy Supergirl comics than women by orders of magnitude. More men will watch this movie. This movie will not appeal to women. It will have the same percentage as any other fucking superhero movie, which will be 60 to 65%. That is pretty much every superhero movie. 60 to 65% male. Captain Marvel, the Marvels, 60 to 65% male. The only one that bucked that trend a little bit was Aquaman, which still had a majority, but it was 54% male. And that was the first Aquaman. And the women were going to see a dude. I like Mario, but the problem is people are so starved for good stuff that a mid-Mario movie saved the theaters and Hollywood did it to themselves, says Gamer Plush. Yeah, the movie theaters aren't going to survive like having great weekends 4 or 5 times a year. They're just not. They need to have really good weekends 20 times a year, 25 times a year, half the year for them to survive. They're not going to survive this. And it's a shame, but the box office theaters are eating good right now, and that's good for them. The Project Hail Mary is doing really well. Looks like it's going to make it to $600 or $700 million. It totally earned it. Super Mario Galaxy is going to make $1 billion. And there's nothing coming out really in April. So it's got no competition. Mark Amorossi for $4.99. The Supergirl trailer looks like the fake movie that Ryan Gosling made at the end of The Fall Guy. It kind of does. You cannot nostalgia bait a Star Fox film. It's got to be good, and Illumination is too boring to do anything like family, coming of age, or leadership. It says Noah Sprague Studios for $5. Albert Not a Retro for $5. Eric Debunks is discussing you folks' life. Gary in particular. He's free to do that. It's called the internet. It's called the internet. If I'm going to call people out, people can call me out. It's all good. Dobby's got a gun. Dobby's got a gun. Whole world's come undone. What did Malfoy do? It's Dobby's last IOU. Hail to the Fellowship. War Eagle. War Tide. Roll Eagle. Today's Tom Sawyer. He gets high on you. Dystopian Phantom for $5.95 for 70 Zardozes. Fun fact, Gina Carano was on FNT 100 weeks ago. Congrats on the 400th episode. Thank you. Yes, that's right. We had Gina on for 300. It is really Rush mentioned. I will mention Rush. I wish I could watch the whole concert, but they played with that young lady on drums. She fucking killed it. She was awesome. She was fucking awesome. I don't think Neil Peart would have minded at all. I thought it was good to see him. I've been lucky enough to see Rush a few times in my life and see Neil Peart. I always called him Peart. Play, and he's the greatest drummer who ever lived. Neil would probably say it was Buddy Rich. Buddy Rich was great. Buddy Rich was an asshole, complete asshole to everybody in his life, but great fucking drummer. Buddy Rich's house was his walls all had little dings in them. I'm sure you've heard the story because Neil Peart told the story. Where Buddy Rich would go around his house just playing on his banister for his stairs, on his walls. He'd be all like all over his house. So his house was just filled with like little dings and stuff. Best drummer, Trent Reznor's computer. Ginger Baker Ginger Baker thinks he's better than John Bonham. I'd say they're comparable. Lars Ulrich. We can all agree anyone else is a better drummer than Lars Ulrich. Yes, Lars Ulrich is not a great drummer. But it works in the band. It works. They are the biggest metal band ever. Are they the greatest? Is Metallica? I was a huge Metallica fan. Fucking massive Metallica fan. Master Puppets is fucking awesome. Are they the biggest metal band ever? Yes, like without question. They're still selling out stadiums now, those old fuckers. Where was? Oh, I was going to talk. Okay, so Friday Night Tights. Kind of a weird thing that we've made it this far. I've been doing a Friday show, and I did post about this for a little over 8 years, maybe 9. I can't exactly remember when I started doing a Friday show, but we used to do them late. And the point was that, I worked, my 60 hours a week. So I'd get home from work, take a little break, and do a Friday show, figuring, hey, movies come out Thursdays now, so we can cover movies. We can recap the week. Nobody's really streaming on this day. And I didn't think much of it. It was just like an excuse to hang out with people. Grew a little bit over time. Then it was at the meetup, our first meetup at Comic-Con, that Odin suggested that, hey, we should like do a team up with Geeks and Gamers. We'll get Geeks and Gamers people in. We'll kind of rotate them in. I'm like, that's a great idea. I think Jeremy was supposed to be on one show and ended up staying forever. Then it grew over time. Then, we started adding hosts, but then we really started doing guests regularly with Drinker. And the weird part about it, that we hit the 6th year to the day anniversary of that on Friday. So it was April 3rd, 2020 when we invited Drinker on. And then after that, it was like Mahler and a couple of other people. And we started just bringing on guests regularly. We got a producer, added a bunch of Brits. And we've never missed a show. Like, I've missed a show due to bereavement, but the show, we still had a show. So FNT has never missed a show, which is insane. The fact that we still, like each other is a strong word. We still put up with each other. No, we like each other. It's amazing that it's lasted this long in YouTube years. A show lasting 6 fucking years is a regular live stream. That's as crazy as our show lasting 6 years is like a TV show lasting 25 years. It's fucking nuts. And I think our rather loose nature has helped us. We don't really regiment anything. We don't plan anything. We're much better at starting on time than we were in the past, because we were terrible in the past. And we've got it's been nuts. We've had a lot of great guests. Former presidential candidate Gina Carano, Dean Cain, Zachary Levi, Alex Jones, Gavin McGinnis's little tiny dick. It's been fun. It's been lots of fun. We'll keep it going, but it wouldn't happen without you guys. All right. So thank you. Hail to the fellowship. And averaging the viewers we average across both Rumble and YouTube is insane. Absolutely insane. Frosk. Yeah, we can't, core member, we can't forget Frosk. Grace Randolph. I'll ask Asmongold. I don't know. I don't think Asmongold like collabs, and he's got very good reasons not to do. I know he went on DSP, but that was funny. I'll ask. I'll ask him today. I'll shoot him a DM. I don't know if he'll see it, but I'll shoot him a DM. We follow each other on Twitter. I think he'd be great. Jeremy Johns, I would 100% ask him to come on, but I know for a fact he does not collab. I've spoken to him we met at CinemaCon, and he's same dude in real life that you see on the video, same energy. It's like really infectious and cool. Really cool guy. I wouldn't even ask him because I know he doesn't collab. And again, same reasons as Asmongold. Like, I get why they don't collab based on past things that had happened and how many strays you can get from collabing. I completely get it. But I hope he doesn't I hope anybody doesn't think I would definitely ask him on if he would come on, but I know he's not going to come on. There's a bunch of people like that who would just don't want to deal with the craziness of FNT. And I get it. I don't take it personally or anything. I completely understand it. There is a person that's going to come on that I've been trying to get on for years, but they weren't ready, but I think they are now. We are noted chuds. Is chud supposed to be an insult, guys? I mean, I don't feel insulted. I don't feel insulted. I love that Matt Jarbo's found a way to get attention and a bunch of people are giving it to him. And it's like, that guy just loves attention, right? I think somebody like, you owe Dial of Destiny an apology. Nope. I think you could argue that Dial Destiny you might owe, I don't believe this, but some people do, that you might owe Crystal Skull an apology. Crystal Skull shit. Okay, it's I like the end. I like the very end with Indiana Jones getting married to Marion. Right? Like, you can canonize that. You can like, after you're finished watching Last Crusade, your post-credit scene is that. Fast forward, a couple decades. That works. Somebody edit that in. Make that an edit. But the rest of the movie is dog shit. Fun fact, Gina, I read that one. I love how Gary just goes dead in the eyes during Mario discussion. I had nothing to add. So, I have friends who say that, you know what? Yeah, it's a kid's movie, but you could still make the story good. I agree with that. But if it's a movie that a bunch of like 6 and 7 year olds, 6 and 7 year olds enjoy, that's good. It's not made for me. And I am fortunate enough to be in the position where I don't have to review shit. I don't review every movie. I don't review every show. I have to actually care. And I don't care. I'm happy for my, for Jeremy and Krista Nova, who are huge Nintendo fans. They're super happy with it. That's awesome. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. I would much rather go watch Project Hail Mary again. But I also think that when you have, Puss in Boots, like, fucking, that movie had no business being as good as it was. But as somebody who had little kids and went to every animated film for a 10 to 12 year period, like every single one that came out, I watched them. I was so fucking sick of computer generated fucking kids movies. If I never see one for the rest of my fucking life, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But occasionally you get some gems. There's a movie out there called Box Trolls. Box Trolls is fucking awesome. It's an awesome movie, But for every Box Trolls or Incredibles, you get 100 Mars Needs Moms. Drinker, how do you resist the offers to get from Hollywood for positive coverage? I saw numerous people in your position over the last 30 years sell out for opportunities to work in the industry. I want to believe in you, says John Vick for 20. I will let Drinker answer that question because do I think he's been asked? Maybe not directly. Maybe not like, hey, I need you to give me a positive review. Would you do that for? I'm sure he has been offered to see stuff early, but it wouldn't be as much as you think. I'm sure he's been offered more than I have, which is not a lot. Not a lot. But I think, believe it or not, that they like Drinker. Well, Drinker's bigger. Like Drinker's the most influential critic on the planet. I'm damaged goods. So I understand that. I don't think I don't think it's as much as you think, but I think everything he's been offered, he's pretty much turned down, right? I've been offered to see some stuff early, and I've taken up on it's usually, well, like with Fantastic Four, I was a guest, right? So it wasn't like Marvel asking me to come in. I had a chance to see it early so I can get a review out early. That's why I did it. And I would do that. But as far as being offered stuff, I've been offered stuff, and I mostly said no. But I've said no to a lot of stuff, and I'm probably fucking retarded to do it. But I've said no to a lot of stuff, and I know Drinker probably has too. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to see shit early, and I don't really need to see stuff early. You know, we don't. I'd rather see it with the people. For one, I would much rather see it in a theater with a real crowd and not like even the LA crowd. It's not real because you're in the home, so you can't get a feel. If you go to a movie in LA, you're gonna think everything's a fucking hit. You're gonna think everything's a hit. It's like seeing something at Comic-Con, right? You see a nerdy thing at Comic-Con, you're like, this is gonna be the biggest thing ever, and it isn't. But you can believe in Drinker. Drinker turns down a lot of shit, dude. A lot of shit. Zombie Dude for $4.99. I find retards did a poll. Who is more Beardo, Stephen King or Robert De Niro? And 45,000 votes. It was 50-50, perfectly balanced. All things should be. Who is more Beardo? I think they were saying who was more annoying. I think they're equally as annoying. Gary Steele for 200 Norwegian Krona says, happy 400. Thank you. Robert Brandon Martinez for $2 says, you guys should call FNT live and tight. Live and tight. We just went with a good old boring FNT 24/7. Verita Nuda for 5 British pounds says, happy 400th. Still as chaotic when I first started watching. Here's to another 400. Keep it raucous and real. Hail to the fellowship. That's all it is. You guys would be bored to death if we started doing like a really rigid, okay, now it's time for you to speak, Disparu. And then when you're done after your 4 minutes, it's time for Az to speak. Like, fuck no. Trey Miller, thank you for the $1.99. 400 episodes. Let's fucking go. Says Tyler for 2 Canadian pesos. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie series remains winning, boys. Gotta go sequel. So I'll ask the chat, what has a better story? Sonic the Hedgehog or the Mario movies? What has a better story? I've seen the first Mario movie, and I did not see any Sonic movies. So Sonic. Shrek. Shrek has a great story. Shrek is brilliant. Yes. Jeremy's argument for Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, I definitely get part of it, right? It's I honestly wish, and I said it on FNT, I wish people would approach Tolkien like, fuck everybody else. We're just going to adapt Tolkien the way as close as possible as the way he wanted it adapted, and to hell with everybody else. And I still think it would be just as popular because the book is fucking brilliant. But there's also a story there. There's also, an actual story within it. I don't know enough about the Nintendo games to say if they have a story or not. I don't. Mario versus Minecraft versus Sonic movies, asked Judah. Oh. Well, I haven't seen Mario was fucking way better than Minecraft. Sorry. The first one, the one that I saw. Pride Dane Chronicles for 20 British pounds. Regarding Millie Alcock, criticism of fans' comments, I have a worry regarding Elliot Page and the Odyssey, such as the cast making a joint statement. If you're transphobic, you don't see this film. Nolan mad casting Page in an already obnoxious cast. Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. We'll see what role she plays. A Boy Named Blue for $9.99. Chrissy, search up things that are special to you and see if there's a female saint associated with it. Oh, this is for her confirmation name. And consider that name. Welcome to church. Chrissy, don't reveal your secret code name until after Easter, or the bunny won't leave anything, says Southeastern Kaiju. Hi, I just watched Project Hail Mary. I never would have thought that a sci-fi movie will make me cry like a baby. Movie of the year for me. Hail FNT. It's a great movie. It's good stuff. 400 and I am still here. What is wrong with me? I don't know, Eric K. I don't know. In a darkened room with sunglasses and Hollywood is stupid and gay? Yes. Steve Watson. Yes. Hail panel. Happy for thank you for the 20 British pounds. Yes. I could have my eyes closed and figure out that Hollywood is still stupid and gay. Hail panel, happy 400th episode. Any thoughts on the original Sky High and the alleged sequel? You guys have got me through some difficult times the last few years. I'm happy to have a place where I could feel like I belong. You definitely belong here, mythology buff, and I don't know if that's a great thing or not. But thank you for the 1999. I love Sky High. Absolutely love Sky High. Don't make a sequel. I do not want modern Disney making a sequel. Sky High predates Iger, right? When did that movie come out? When did Sky High come out? Yeah, 2005. So that's prior to Iger, I want to say. When did I? Maybe not. Boom. Same year. Okay, so it was prior to Iger. Yes, so he took over October 1st, 2005. Sky High came out July 24th, 2005. So I would say that any version of Sky High would suck. I wish there was a 4K of Sky High. Chuck Norris assimilated the Borg. I thought the good meme the meme I saw was on the home planet of the Predator, they have a movie called Chuck. Connor for $5. First FNT Super Chat. All right. Thank you. Been watching since Drinker's first appearance. Hail Drinker, hail chat. Thanks for the laughs. Thank you, Connor. Appreciate you. FN 24/7. Oh, FN 24/7. That's pretty good. Beefy 5-layer husbando. Congrats on 400 episodes of FNT. You guys have got me through many boring shifts at work. Here's to many more. Hail. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to keep going as long as we can. We're going to keep going. Now we are doing old stuff, but are you talking about like older stuff, like predating us even calling it Friday Night Tights? Maybe we can throw one of those in. Early days. I've got a lot of ideas about the 24/7 stuff that I completely stole from the Y-Files. By the way, when you're not watching FNT 24/7, I highly recommend the Y-Files backstage. They have pretty much they've laid out a bunch of AJ's videos, AJ and the team, brilliant team over there. One of the best teams on YouTube, period. They have their 24/7 Y-Files backstage, and I listen to it almost every day, like at least 20 minutes every single day. I've got that on, and I've watched it so much. I've seen it kind of cycle all the way through. Don't care. The rewatchability of that stuff is evergreen as it gets. 1 cent episode. Does that make you a sweatshop labor? Yes. They're lucky they get paid a penny. Quick question, Gary. You're old enough. I just saw you're old, but you're old enough to know this. You remember Tall Tales, John Henry, Pecos Bill, and Annie Oakley? You think these stories can make some small indie movies? Maybe. But it would see the indie market is now, I think it's moving away from studios. You're starting to see more YouTubers with like back rooms and stuff making their own shit. And that gatekeeper of like, well, you know, kind of like Maggie Gyllenhaal out there bitching. Well, these studios need to give women more money. Why? They gave you a bunch of money and you made a bunch of flops. But if you want to go make your indie movie, by all means, make your indie movie. You don't need a studio anymore. You know, it's just good marketing. I think that's and that's where the indie movie. Why do you think low budget horror? Why do you think Hollywood's all over low budget horror? Where and it's like it's all the fucking same thing now. It's all young couple buys a house and there's an evil shoe stuck to the floor and mom puts her foot in the shoe to try to move it and then she's possessed by the shoe. Like that's your horror concept. It's like 3 or 4 actors in a place. And it works. People love it. So, but I'm saying you could probably do that on your own. Psychotic Mongoose for £2 Congrats on 400 episodes. Thank you, Psychotic Mongoose. Appreciate you. Zombie Dude 0 for $4.99. Gary, do you have any way to play SCNS games? Also, do you still have your Spider-Man, the video game arcade machine? I'm trying to wire my own. I do. It doesn't work. I've had the hardest time getting that fucking thing working because we need to rewire it so we could solder it to a connector that won't fall off because it needs to connect to, and I'm about to give up on it, honestly, because the old original one that worked, the Spider-Man video card by Sega, it's all gone. The innards are gone. The CRTV that was in there just died. And I've sunk so much money in trying to like fix this thing, and we're like at this one point and we can't fucking I'm about to go get another one, but I still have the case. And that arcade game survived like my comic shop for years. I do have my Gottlieb Spider-Man pinball machine. That works great, but I'm about to give up on it. Echoes of the Ancients, thank you for the $5. Nater's RC channel for $10 says, not saying that Jeremy is a homosexual, but he's been known to guess the flavor of a popsicle just by sitting on it. Josh Kelsey has dropped $19.99 and walks away because that's what Josh does. That's what Josh does. Echo. I read that one. Where am I? Why did I get lost? Abyss Rises for $19.99 proper British pounds. Congrats on 400 episodes. Hail the fellowship. Thank you, Gary. And fellow Scotsman Will for the recommendation of Project Hail Mary. Can I get a shout out for my beautiful wife, Tracy, on the landmark episode? Shout out to beautiful wife, Tracy. What the hell are you doing with that, dude? He better appreciate you. Vimorian for 20 Chilean pesos. After a long wait, the game I Am Jesus Christ is now available on Steam. Someone tell Odin and Shad I'll try it out this weekend. Gary, can we finally get a gaming stream? Just play some Skyrim. Getting lost is the best part. Well, I mean, I would have done one if I'm like completely behind on all of my stuff now because I was sick for a week. So not anytime soon. And I got to travel next weekend too. Gremlin Anku for 20 says, it's the late that makes them gay, or is it the gay that makes them late? That is the question. We'll never know. Wes for $10. Black Snape, walking through the dark, wand in my hand and a hex in my heart, turn that fear into a spell. Then I spark. Yeah, I've been cursed from the start. I'm Black Snape. Mark Holmes for $4.99. What's the difference between 3 cocks and a joke? Jeremy can't take a joke. Snape's not hot, never hot. Scrat, skitty, cat. What the hell did I just read? Green Blossom. Conquest is a pussy power level and bullshit. They swapped Tech Jacket. Humor is painful and Debbie scenes are totally skippable. Among other things, its animation is bad. I'm tapping out of Invincible after this season. Says Dave's ARC. Congratulations on reaching episode 400. Thank you, Varn, for $2. I appreciate it. I give the Super Mario Galaxy movie 10 Brie Larson toe clicks. Wow. Chris Rose for $2 says happy 400th. The Fellowship is truly a family. Hell yeah. Mexi Rage for $10 for all the bad things that come out of Hollywood. And at least we've gotten a few good things. One, Supergirl is going to underperform badly, and that Pam Bondi is finally gone. So there's some good things. Yeah, she's gone. She was an idiot. Yeah, Supergirl. I think even if Supergirl could be better than Superman, but it won't perform better than Superman just because it's Supergirl, right? But it's not going to perform better than Superman. But if we watch it and we go, you know what? It's fucking great. And it's great. Probably because James Gunn didn't direct it. Like who knows? Who knows? All I know is I'm not fond of the source material. I did like the art in Woman of Tomorrow, but not much else. So we'll see. We haven't seen the movie yet, but I can't say I am excited or even interested, which is bad because I am a fan of superheroes and I am a fan of Supergirl, and I don't mind the casting of Millie Alcock. I think she's fine. We'll see. Alex for $9.99. Anyone ever super chat something that sounds funny in your head, but as soon as it reads aloud, it sounds totally dumb? Anywho, my lurker fee. Hail. Oh, all the time. I do that all the time. Thank you. Revan from the 24/7 live stream. I think Resident Evil 4 has the best mechanics for escort missions. Ashley is the best. Do you think any games will top it? Elizabeth is lame and gay. Oh, no games will top it. RE4. Melissa Benoist is a better Supergirl. The new one looks like she has a small case of Downs. When people are missing the CW Supergirl, that's bad because the CW Supergirl was fucking bad. I know Disbrew will simp for it a little bit. I watched the premiere episode at Comic-Con before they edited it and made a more palatable, because the one that we saw at Comic-Con was heavily edited and changed by the time it premiered on CBS. But Supergirl, it's and I remember like I get to see this episode early. I'm kind of excited about it, but Supergirl turned into absolute garbage pretty quick. Not a good show. So if you have people missing that show, that does not bode well for your movie. Thank you for becoming a member. Could not pronounce my name. As could not have pronounced my name. I can't pronounce you saying as can't pronounce your name. Phil Mitchell's Fist, thank you for becoming a member. Phil Mitchell's Fist has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you. Rudders is a new member. Welcome. Jackson Cagle has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you, Jackson. Southern Inks is a new member. Bo Madrigal is a new member. Crossroad Sir, is it Cyril or Sir? I'm not sure. But thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to get to work after a little break. Work on, see if this turns into anything. Which is worse, Black Snape or Trans Snape? Yes. Oh, don't think they didn't think about putting in a trans actor. And maybe they still will. You know, we don't know the full fleshed out cast. So there might be some background actor that's trans. I am betting that happens. Absolutely betting that happens. If they've done it in the audiobooks. So yeah, I think that's a guaranteed. It's just a matter of who and when. Who and when. It'll probably be like some one-line character. Voldemort. I would be shocked if it didn't happen. Madame Pomfrey. Madame Pomfrey, when she shows up in the audiobook, it's like, it sounds like me doing a woman's voice. Oh, Potter, you need to sit down. Why is this big black dog in here? This is a hospital wing. And I think it's the same dude who did the voice for the barmaid in the game. I think they've already cast Professor Sprout. Being gay is an analogy for being British. Oh. All right. Let's see who else is streaming. Oh, Jeremy is. Jeremy is streaming. Hang on. There we go. I'll put that link in there. Is Mahler streaming too? Is he? Is he gaming? Is he gamming? Oh, yes, he is. Mahler plays Resident Evil Remake. Finish my Jill sandwich. Then on to Chris. So there's that. And then we put Jeremy's link in there. Or you can do Mahler. Well, you can do Mahler. I mean, I don't think you can do Mahler, but you can watch Mahler. So there's Mahler's. You'll have to guess which link is which. So, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for Real BBC. I think it's on Az's channel tomorrow. I'm going to get to working on some fucking videos now. I have 3 written out. I don't know which one is good to start with, though. I think I'm going to do this one. I won't tell you what it is. Talked about it a little bit at the beginning. It'll mention, it's not going to be about Black Snape. It'll mention Black Snape, but it's not going to be about Black Snape. I just did a Black Snape video a little over a week ago. But thanks everybody for supporting. Thank you again for all the love for the 400th episode for FNT. Thanks for supporting here. Thanks for supporting on Rumble. Thanks for supporting on were we? Yeah. Okay. I was going to make sure we were dual streaming on Rumble. This weekend I'm going to be recording with AJ from the Y-Files on their podcast, and it should be tons of fun. I'm going to be going to lovely Las Vegas for the weekend. That doesn't suck. I'm looking forward to it. Hale, I love AJ and his lovely wife and everybody, the crew there. Good people. And thank you for supporting the stream. Thanks for being a member. Thanks to the Modrotics for all you do. You do not have to mod 24/7 FNT. I was thinking, I'm like, should I tell him? It's like, nah, just don't. Just let it roll. What happens. We'll check in on it once in a while. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. Thanks to all the lurkers out there. We love you guys, and I will see you next time. Ciao, bella.